It happens without warning. One second, your dog is lying calmly on the floor, half asleep, and the next, something flips. The eyes go wide, the rear end drops, the ears pin back, and your dog launches into a full-speed explosion around the room. A lap around the couch, a skid across the rug, a wild loop through the yard, tucked low, tearing in circles like the floor is on fire. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it stops. Your dog flops down, tongue out, completely satisfied, as if nothing happened at all. Before we dive in, if you love understanding how dogs really think and behave, subscribe to DogMind. You have almost certainly laughed at this, filmed it, wondered out loud what on earth just got into your dog. We even have a perfect nickname for it, the Zoomies, and most of us have quietly decided it means our dog has simply, briefly, lost its mind. But it hasn't. That chaotic little burst is not random, and it is not madness. It has a name in the behavior world, it has predictable triggers, and it carries real meaning about what your dog is feeling. So tonight, let's chase down the Zoomies. Let's find out what actually happens in those wild few seconds, why they strike exactly when they do, and what your dog is really letting go of when it runs. Let's start with the name, because behavior researchers have one. They call these bursts Frenetic Random Activity Periods. It is a wonderfully clinical name for something that looks so gloriously silly. And the first thing to know is that they are completely normal. Dogs are not the only animals that do this. If you have ever seen a cat tear around a house at midnight, or a young horse buck and gallop across a field for no obvious reason, you have seen the same basic thing. A sudden, short-lived explosion of frantic movement that ends as abruptly as it starts. And there is a shape to it if you slow it down. Watch the body during the true zoomie, and you will see a signature posture. The rear tucks underneath, the front dips low, the ears fold back, and the whole dog seems to curl into its own momentum. Often, right before the explosion, you will catch a play bow, that front end down, rear end up stretch the dogs use to say, "This is play, this is fun, here we go." The Zoomies are not a malfunction, they are a performance, with an opening move and a structure all their own. So the real question is not what the Zoomies are, it is why. Why does a calm dog suddenly detonate? And the answer begins with a single important idea: arousal. Now, arousal in this sense does not mean excitement exactly. It means something broader. It is the overall level of activation in your dog's nervous system, the charge running through the whole body. Think of it like water filling behind a dam. Throughout the day, that level rises and falls. Excitement raises it. Anticipation raises it. Being cooped up with nothing to do raises it. And when that level climbs high enough, it needs somewhere to go. The Zoomies are the spillway, a sudden physical release of built-up energy, discharged all at once in a glorious frantic rush. And this is why the timing suddenly starts to make sense. Think about when the Zoomies actually happen, because they are not really random at all. Consider the classic one, the after-bath Zoomies. You have just held your dog still, gotten it wet. For a long time, that looked like pure comedy. But look closer. Your dog just sat through something restrictive and mildly stressful, holding still while tension quietly built. And the instant it is released, all of that pent-up arousal comes rushing out at once. The Zoomies here are a kind of full-body exhale, a way of shaking off the tension and getting back to normal. You will see the same pattern in other moments. The dog that has been crated or cooped up all morning and bursts out like a launched rocket. The puppy who has been asked to be calm at a gathering and finally erupts the moment the pressure lifts. Even after a stressful trip, like a visit to the vet, some dogs will have a wild run once they are safely home. In each case, the running is doing a job. It is discharging a charge that had nowhere else to go. But not every Zoomie is about stress or confinement. Many are simply pure, uncomplicated joy. This is the second big reason dogs zoom, and it is a wonderful one. Sometimes the energy building up is not tension at all. It is happiness. It is excitement so big the body cannot contain it, so it comes bursting out as motion. You can usually tell the joyful Zoomies by the way they look. The body stays loose and wiggly, the mouth hangs open and relaxed. The movement is bouncy and springy and curvy, full of play bows and happy swerves. This is a dog that is delighted, running not to escape anything, but simply because being alive in this moment feels too good to hold still for. The evening burst of a happy puppy, Arousal is not the same thing as emotion. A high level of arousal can come from joy or it can come from stress. The zoomies are what a spike of arousal looks like when it finally discharges, and the running itself does not tell you which feeling caused it. To understand any particular zoomie, you cannot just watch the legs. You have to read the whole dog and the whole moment. What happened just before, what the face and body are saying, whether the dog seems loose and delighted or tight and frantic. Which brings us to something every owner should understand, because most of the time zoomies are healthy and delightful, but not always. There is a difference between a dog that is joyfully letting off steam and a dog that has tipped over into being genuinely over-aroused, unable to come back down. The happy version is loose, bouncy, and self-limiting. The dog runs, gets it out, and settles. The version to watch for looks different. It comes with a hard, tense body rather than a wiggly one. The dog seems wound too tight, maybe mouthing or nipping, unable to stop, not really playing anymore, but stuck in a frantic loop it cannot exit. That is not joyful release. That is a nervous system that has escalated past the point of fun and needs help coming down, usually through calm, quiet, and rest rather than more stimulation. There is also a separate behavior that can look similar but is not the same thing at all. A dog that circles or chases its own tail repeatedly, compulsively, over and over, in a way that is hard to interrupt and happens even in calm moments, is not having zoomies. That kind of relentless, repetitive circling can sometimes...
The everyday zoomie is a brief, joyful storm that passes. Persistent, driven circling that the dog cannot seem to stop is a different story and deserves a closer look. For the ordinary, happy zoomies, the best thing you can do is simply keep them safe. Frantic running on slippery floors can lead to slips and strains, so a bit of traction or space helps. Zoomies near a road, a staircase, or a sharp corner are worth gently steering somewhere safer. And whatever you do, there's no need to punish them. You are not watching disobedience. You are watching a completely natural release, and trying to punish it only adds tension to a moment that is meant to discharge it. So the next time your dog erupts out of nowhere, tucks its little rear and goes tearing around the room like a furry comet, you will know what you are really seeing. You are watching a dam open, a rush of built-up energy or emotion finally set free. Maybe it is the tension of a bath washing away. Maybe it is joy too big for a calm body to hold. Either way, it is your dog doing something deeply natural and deeply satisfying. If this video helped you understand your dog a little better, subscribe to Dog Mind. And when it ends, as it always does, with that sudden stop and the happy collapse onto the floor, you might find yourself smiling a little differently, because you will know that the silliest thing your dog does all day is also one of the most honest, a pure, unfiltered release of everything it was carrying. And now, at last, you understand exactly what just got into your dog.